Okay, so sell me this plant. What's the backstory? How is this going to change my life? How are you going to sell me this plant? You're not actually going to sell me that. This is not some Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort type sales training video.
Sell me this pen.
But I do want to teach you today how to sell anything to anyone in theory, okay? And the first thing I want to talk about is why people actually buy, because it's really important to understand why people buy and what sales actually is, because a lot of people hear that word sales and it's very intimidating to them. It's a very intimidating topic, sales, and having to actually sell something to someone. But what a lot of people don't understand about sales is you sell every single day. Every single person who's watching this right now sells to people every single day. Because all selling really is, when you strip it back, is it's just the exchange of information. Whoa, what's my mic doing down here? It is the exchange of information in order to get some kind of favourable response. So for example, we go to a restaurant, we enjoy that restaurant, we have a good meal, we go home and we sell it to our friends and family. We're like, oh yeah, we just had such a great meal, I just enjoyed this nice big portion of steak and chips, and it was just, okay, that was really awful for selling, okay, this doesn't really give me much credibility, this intro to this video. But you get what I'm saying, whenever we go watch a new film, a new Marvel film, we're selling it to our friends. When we go on a date, we are selling that person to our friends and our family when we're talking to about it. So we're actually selling all day, every day, just in our conversation, just by speaking to people about things that are happening within our lives and things that we want to influence them on. That is, in essence, what sales actually is. It's just the exchange of information in the bid to get a favourable response from the other person. Now, this, of course, changes slightly when you actually start selling a product or a service, because money comes involved. And when money's involved, it's a bit harder to get your message across, because people are often on the back foot, okay? They've got their guard up. They're like, okay, there's this snake oil salesman who's going to try and sell me something that I do not want, okay? So we've got to make sure that our message comes across right, that we execute this perfectly. And the easiest way, or the best way to start off by doing this, is by working out who our customers actually are. Who is our ideal customer? Because we don't want to be selling to people who aren't suitable for our product or a service, or have no desire for our product or a service. And we need to make a buyer's persona. If you click the link somewhere above this video, we went through sales processes last week. I also ran through how to come up with a buyer's persona, which is essentially your way of working out who your customers are, what they do, where they hang out, where you're going to find them, and most importantly, their pain points. What is the problem that your product is going to solve for them? How is your product going to relieve your potential customers of their pain points, okay? So at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is work out how to build a relationship with these people, because that's what sales really is. That's what really good salespeople actually understand, that you're not trying to force a product or a service on somebody. You're simply building a relationship with somebody who already needs that product or service. They just don't know it yet. Okay, we're not pressure selling. Pressure selling is this whole entire different thing. Pressure selling is this term we give to people who are forcing their product or service on people that do not want it. The issue is with these companies who have to pressure sell is they just don't know who their correct customers are, or their products are just god awful and nobody wants them. You don't want to be in that position. But actually, a lot of people see sales under that same stigma. We hear the word sale and we think, oh God, like I'm going to have to sell someone something right now. I have to convince them to buy this product or a service. When in reality, if you have the right product for the right person, all you need to do is just build a good relationship with that person and give them the nudge that they need to see the value in what it is you're trying to actually offer them. It's a bit like going on a roller coaster for the first time. If you can think back to the first time you went on a roller coaster, some of you are probably still terrified of them, and I do not blame you, but I remember certainly when I was a kid, my mum and my dad took me to this theme park, and I saw the roller coaster and I was absolutely terrified of it. But my mum, my dad, everyone else in the family, my brothers loved roller coasters, okay? They're just like absolutely crazy for them. And so my dad knew that there was pretty much a good chance that I was going to enjoy them as well, okay? By rule of averages, I was going to enjoy a roller coaster, but I was scared. I was intimidated by the things. And he said to me, Jordan, just imagine you on one of your Hot Wheels cars, and them cars that you put around tracks and it does loop-the-loops and stuff. I used to play with them as a kid. Just imagine it's going to be so fun. Just trust me. And I ended up going on it and I loved it. I was straight back on again. I've been hooked ever since, okay? And I've had so many amazing experiences at theme parks with girlfriends, with friends. And if my dad never encouraged me or gave me or showed me the light to roller coasters, then I would have never been able to have those experiences within my life because he knew that by rule of averages, I was going to be the right person for that product, okay? I was the right prospect to go on a roller coaster. And often people don't even realize that they need a product or a service or how much it will improve their life until they actually buy it. So if you're offering a product or a service which enriches people's life, which can improve their livelihood, then you're doing an injustice to them by not selling it to them, by not getting them on that roller coaster so they can have these incredible experiences for the rest of their lives. By offering a digital marketing service, for example, which helped them to make more revenue every single month for the rest of their business career. That's an injustice if you do not help them to see the light. If Henry Ford, the CEO, the owner, founder of Ford Motor Group, asked people back in the day, hey guys, what do you want out of your transportation? What do you think would improve your transportation? They'd say better, faster horses. They'd say horses which can go longer, right? They would never say a motor vehicle. But he introduced that to people. He made people see the light, and it completely revolutionized the entire transportation industry forever. And so it's not always about asking people what they want. It's about showing them what they need. Because 9 times out of 10, what people think they want and what people actually need are two completely separate things. So I want you to rewire your brain. Look at sales differently, because this is what's truly going to help you sell your product or your service. Do not think that you are pressuring someone into buying something. You have to convince them to buy your product or service. Rewire yourself into realizing that if you have a product or a service which enriches somebody's life, which solves problems for them, you are doing an injustice by not sharing it with them and showing them how you can help them solve their problems, even if it's not the solution that they think they need right now. Now, one of the biggest tools that anybody has when trying to sell anything to anyone are stories. Stories are what sell products and services. Stories give us the ability to make people have the same epiphany we had when we created our product or service, when we saw the demand for our product or our service. We want to make that person realize that they need our product or our service. And the biggest mistake that I see people making in sales is that they list all of the facts. They list all of the features, the numbers, the techie stuff, and people don't give a shit about that stuff. Features do not sell. Benefits do. Problems do. Facts don't sell on their own, but facts do help sell stories, and stories are what ultimately sell. So if you've invented a product yourself, regardless of what it is, okay? You've invented a product or a service, or you realize you needed to sell a product or a service, or you started selling a product or a service because you bought one yourself and you realized that more people need to see it. You need to introduce this story of how you came about that product or service into your sales pitch somewhere. Because you want to try and help your customers have the same epiphany you had when you realized that you needed that product. Or, for example, you could tell a story about your existing customers and how you helped enrich their lives and how they were in the exact same position as the person you're speaking to right now. If you're pitching someone on a marketing service and maybe they're a restaurant and you're already working with a restaurant, if you can tell a story about the restaurant down the road that was in the exact same position as them, that is struggling, that whatever issues they are having, if you've got a story to tell, and I'm not saying make something up right now, it's got to be a real genuine story, and this helps when you have case studies. But if you can tell a story of how you did the same thing for somebody else, then you can give that person that same epiphany. They then get the desire for the product or the service. So sell through stories. They are your greatest weapon in sales. Another tool we have is status. And we want to attach status to ourselves when we are selling something. Because the way that our subconscious brain works, we're wired up to constantly be thinking in the back end about survival and safety. And so when we meet somebody who is from an authoritative position, we instantly feel like that person has proven themselves, like they are competent, so we can trust them, and therefore we feel safe around them. And we want our customers to feel very safe around us because they will therefore trust in the product or service that we are trying to sell them. And so one of the best ways for you to do this is actually lead forward with value. Provide value relentlessly to your customers. You can never over-deliver on value. Make sure that you are educating that person. You're talking to them about the area of the product or the service. You're providing something to them and not asking for anything in return. If you're a marketing agency, maybe you're critiquing their current marketing strategy and giving them some hints and tips which they can implement right now. Because all you need to do is position yourself as an expert. And to be an expert, you only need to be one step ahead than somebody else to be perceived as an expert in their mind. So if you are an expert in their mind, they are then going to feel more safe around you. They're therefore going to trust you more because they feel like you are an authority and that you have status. So be conscious about putting yourself in a position of status when you're trying to sell whatever product or service that you are trying to sell. And the best way to do this is by leading forward with value every single time. Now I'm going to give you one final tip today, one final weapon for you to use when trying to sell anything to anyone. And that is scarcity. Exclusivity, limited supply, whatever you want to call it. We want to get the fear of missing out inside the brain of our customers, right? To put this into context, I'll use an example. Brands like Supreme, Palace, these streetwear brands, the streetwear industry execute this so perfectly, scarcity, right? These are huge industries and companies which put colossal premiums on just normal cotton items of clothing, right? They bring out these limited supply seasonal wear, right? So they'll have like their season 2020 and they'll have like 1 or 2 months, they'll bring out 20 t-shirts. And they don't do that because their cotton suppliers don't have enough cotton to print t-shirts. No, they do that because they want a resale market and they want to be able to increase the prices of all of their products so they just sell instantly. If you've ever gone on like a trainer drop, okay, when you're buying trainers and you try to buy like the latest pair of Yeezys, those trainers sell out instantly, and then they're being resold. There's so much demand for those products purely because of scarcity. It's intentional limited supply. And the customers have such a fear of missing out that these products just make millions, right? And so in a very small way, you want to try and think about how you can introduce scarcity into your offer, into your sales pitch. For example, do you have a limited time pricing offer? Are there only so many clients that you have the capacity for to take on every single week or every single month? If so, then you need to introduce that intentional scarcity into your offer because your customers will get the fear of missing out. One thing a lot of companies like to do, especially in service-based industries and in digital marketing agencies, is they like to offer their price with an upfront service cost. So if you're maybe building a website out or you're doing Facebook ads, there's going to be a little bit of upfront work. So a lot of agencies like to charge like, I don't know, £1,000 fee upfront so they can get all of this initial work done. But they can say, hey, look, I find that the majority of our customers, the best customers that we work with are the ones that are action takers. They're the ones that make decisions right now. And so if you make a decision on this phone call today, we'll waive that initial upfront fee and our service charge will just be X amount, right? There's that scarcity, there's almost that pressure for them to get interested, to them to buy and take action right now. And that's not to be misconstrued with pressure selling at all, okay? All we're doing is we're adding that scarcity. We're introducing the fear of missing out. Because trust me, impulse does crazy things to people. So introduce scarcity into your sales pitch. In fact, introduce all of the things that we've spoken about today in your sales pitch and you will be able to sell anything to anyone. But I do want to correct that anyone. These have to be the right customers. This is something that so many people in sales miss out. They're trying to sell things to people that have no interest. You're selling a winter coat to somebody who lives in Australia, right? They don't need it, okay, in summertime, right? You've got to be selling to the right people. That's very, very important. So this is how to sell anything to the right customer, okay? Because if you don't have the right customer, if you don't understand your customer buyer, all joking aside, then you've got nothing to sell. You're wasting your time. You're going to spend hours and hours and hours trying to sell snow to a snowman. He doesn't need it. He's made out of it. So guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please do drop me down a comment below. We're going to be doing a lot more sales-based videos. I don't know if this is your first sales video you've watched of mine. We're going to be simplifying sales. People overcomplicate sales. I've worked in corporate sales for years before I launched my marketing agency. I've closed millions of dollars worth of business over the years for multiple businesses in corporate sales and in my own business as well. And I understand sales. I get it. I enjoy sales. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy building relationships. But people overcomplicate it. And people people are intimidated by it. And so this YouTube series that we're going to be doing, and make sure you check out the sales playlist that I've created. This YouTube series is going to be all about simplifying an industry that people overcomplicate too much. So I can help you guys sell your products or services, whatever they may be, all over the world. Now, we also do giveaways on this channel. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you do subscribe. And I need to do the giveaway. I need to announce the giveaway winner from our last week's video. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to randomly select someone right now. I am literally scrolling through randomly, and stop. It is Damir Amatov. But we're going to get on a coaching call with Damir, and this is a video about social media marketing. So I'm going to jump on a coaching call with Damir. I'm going to get the team to reach out to you. We'll jump on that coaching call, and I'm going to go through how to help you. You're struggling with a limiting belief at the moment with your marketing agency, with the niche that you're working in, you think it's a little bit saturated. Okay, so I'm going to help you with that on this coaching call. We're going to make sure we get you past that point. By the way, guys, comment down below on this video. We're going to start doing more of these giveaways, so why not do one right now again? Comment down below underneath this video. Let me know, what is your best tip when trying to sell anything to anyone or the right customer? Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, smash the like button for me, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Cheers.